Time is charging you interest. Why most adults drift through life without realizing it. Life doesn't come with a warning label. No one sits you down in your 20s or 30s and explains what really matters, what quietly drains you, or why time suddenly feels like it's moving faster than you can keep up with. Most people aren't hiding the truth from you. They simply never learned it themselves. Some lessons don't arrive through advice. They arrive through regret, exhaustion, and the quiet feeling that something isn't right. Even when everything looks fine on the outside, you follow the routine. You handle responsibilities. You do what's expected. Yet deep down, you feel like you're living on autopilot. These truths don't change people when they're forced. They change people when they're ready. When something inside finally says, I can't keep doing life this way. That moment doesn't scream, it whispers. And if you listen closely, it can alter your entire direction. The hardest truths are rarely dramatic. They're simple, honest, sometimes uncomfortable. They don't flatter you. They don't rush you. They just sit there, waiting for you to notice them. If this found you today, it's likely because you've reached that point. The point where drifting no longer feels harmless, where waiting feels heavier than starting, where truth feels safer than comfort. I have a general list of 10 truths that I want to share with you, but in the universe and in life, it's basically unlimited. But these are the ones that I can snatch and process and put down. And I tell you, the more that I live life, I know I'm going to have a whole lot more to add to this list. I'm going to start with number 10 and work my way up to number 1. Number 10, time is not waiting for you. Time never argues with you. It doesn't negotiate. It doesn't care about your excuses, your plans, or your intentions. It moves quietly, consistently, and without emotion. And that's what makes it so dangerous. Most people live as if they have 2 lives, one to waste and one to fix everything later. But later feels generous only until it disappears. Every year you delay something, life charges interest. Delay your health, and your body pays. Delay your dreams, and your confidence shrinks. Delay hard conversations, and relationships slowly rot. As children, time feels endless because life is full of new experiences. As adults, routines replace novelty, and years begin to disappear like weekends. Life becomes a loop instead of a story. You don't need a massive plan to change this. You need one honest moment where you stop drifting. 5 minutes of direction beats 5 years of confusion. If the future version of you would thank you for doing something today, do it. If they'd be disappointed you didn't, start there. Truth number 9. Nobody is thinking about you as much as you think. One of the most freeing realizations in life is understanding that most people are too busy thinking about themselves to obsess over you. The audience you fear doesn't really exist. Everyone walks around carrying their own worries, insecurities, and unfinished thoughts. Even when someone seems judgmental, they're usually comparing themselves to you, not analyzing you. This truth lifts a heavy weight. You stop performing. You stop shrinking. You stop waiting for approval that was never coming anyway. Ask yourself honestly, who were you afraid of? Can you name them? Most people can't. Just an imaginary crowd. The embarrassment you fear lasts only seconds. The regret of not trying can last years or an entire lifetime. Think about it. Truth number 8. Fear hurts more in your head than in reality. Fear is an exaggerated storyteller. It turns small risks into disasters and normal mistakes into life-ending events. Most of the pain you felt didn't come from what happened, but from imagining what might happen. Your mind rehearses worst-case scenarios that rarely show up. Meanwhile, real life is often simpler. Try, adjust, continue. Think about something that once scared you deeply. After you did it, what did you realize? It wasn't as bad as your mind promised. Fear looks huge until you confront it. Then it shrinks. Your life doesn't expand when fear disappears. It expands when you stop believing everything your fear tells you. Truth number 7. Small steps beat big plans. Big plans feel productive, but small steps create results. Perfection delays action. Momentum builds confidence. Many people fail not because they can't do something, but because their plan is too big to start. Small actions are powerful because your mind can't argue with them. 5 minutes, 1 email, 1 sentence, 1 walk, 1 honest decision. These are the bricks that build change. If something is small enough to do consistently, it's big enough to change your life. Truth number 6. Pain is a teacher, not an enemy. Pain has information. Physical pain shows limits. Emotional pain reveals boundaries. Mental pain exposes harmful thoughts. Most growth comes from discomfort. Pain isn't punishment, it's guidance. Ignored lessons repeat. Learned lessons strengthen you. Instead of asking why something is happening to you, ask what it's trying to teach you. That question shifts you from helpless to aware. Pain prepares you for the version of yourself you haven't met yet. Truth number 5. You train people how to treat you. People learn your worth through your behavior, not your words. What you tolerate becomes your standard. Boundaries aren't confrontational. They're educational. Every time you accept disrespect, you teach others that it's acceptable. Self-respect doesn't push away the right people. It filters out the wrong ones. Silence teaches people how to mistreat you. Clarity teaches them how to respect you. Truth number 4. Success looks boring up close. Real success is repetitive, quiet, and unglamorous. It's built on ordinary days, not dramatic moments. Consistency beats intensity. Slow progress beats bursts of motivation. Success doesn't feel successful while it's happening. It feels like work. The boring days matter more than the exciting ones. Truth number 3, you attract what you believe you deserve. Your self-worth acts like a magnet. Low beliefs attract low standards. Higher beliefs demand better environments. You tolerate what you think is normal. You chase what you believe is possible. Self-growth grows from kept promises, boundaries, and action. You don't get what you want. You get what you believe fits you. Truth number 2, your thoughts lie, but your actions tell the truth. Thoughts exaggerate. Actions reveal reality. One small action can quiet a loud mind. Confidence comes from movement, not imagination. You can't think your way into belief. You act your way into it. Do something small before your mind invents something big. Truth number 1, your life changes the moment you decide it does. Change doesn't start with motivation. It starts with honesty, with deciding you're done repeating the same patterns. The decision is quiet. The work is boring. The result is powerful. Once you decide, the rest is just steps. These truths don't demand perfection. They demand awareness. You don't need to fix everything today. You just need to stop pretending tomorrow is guaranteed. Life doesn't change when circumstances shift. It changes when choices do. Quietly, slowly, consistently. Every small action you take today is a vote for the person you're becoming. Every boundary you set is a declaration of self-respect. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You need honesty and movement. The moment you stop drifting, life starts responding. And these are the truths that I'm embracing. I've already embraced several of them for years, and there's some that have dawned on me that I have begun to really look into. And one of the things is that people think about time in a very disrespectful way. They just assume it's always going to be there. And like I've said before, not to be gory, but I've seen people in some tragic car accidents just driving along, or when I used to drive the city bus in Orlando, Florida, I was in the street all day, observing things all day. See, you might go to work and drive down the street and come back down that same street later on, but I was up and down and up and down all day long. So I got a chance to see the things that you may have missed. So when you see these accidents, and when you see these people, one I remember used to be a passenger on my bus. She was always happy, always upbeat, and always had a positive word to say. And she was so happy when she had purchased her scooter. And it was one that was legal to ride on the street. It's kind of powerful for a scooter. It wasn't a motorcycle. So she was saying how happy she was that she can go shopping at different times of the day or night, go to different places and not have to depend on an Uber or a taxi cab or public transportation, that she can ride, but she knew she had to be careful. So I was happy for her. So one day I was driving down on an outbound trip and I saw her on the opposite side of the road. So she was going to pick up a few things from the supermarket because she stopped by me at the red light, and that's what she said. And I said, well, your scooter fits you well. This is my first time seeing you since you had it. And I wish you the best of luck. And I do miss you in the conversations we used to have. She says, oh, I miss you too, driver. I'll see you one day soon. I said, no problem. So I did the round trip. I went to the end and I had a layover for about 30 minutes. And then this was a pretty long route. For those who are in Orlando, you must know the 21 route. and that's pretty long. And the last stop is behind the hospital at Turkey Lake Road. So I began to come in. This was the daytime. I drove early that day. And as I was coming up the road where I saw her, I saw an ambulance just arriving, police blocking off the street. And when I got closer, I saw what appeared to be a scooter, and groceries were all over the street. And when I saw the helmet that my friend wore, I knew it was her. And the bad part about it is, I didn't see another car, so evidently somebody hit her. It was a hit and run. But I saw her mangled body, and I have to tell you this, I'm not trying to turn anybody off, but I saw her helmet, and her head was still in the helmet, detached from her body. It took time for us to creep up on the other side of the road, and I couldn't fight back the tears. They weren't hysterical, but nonetheless, they were flowing. And two of the passengers asked me why the tears were flowing. Did I know her? And I said, yes, she used to sit right here. And I forgot where she worked and where she got off, but they remembered who it was. And they felt bad. The whole bus was quiet, even though I crept up slowly but surely. The same thing happened to me before, because in the street all day, you get a chance to witness different things. When you drive a bus, you get a chance to bond with people. And I'm telling you this story for a reason. I'm going to tell you another one the same way. It was on the same 21 route, and it was by Columbia, I believe, and Bruton Boulevard. Was it Columbia or was it? I'm not sure. I believe so. And it was an elderly man. He had to be over 80, even though he was youthful for his age. And he dressed so snazzy. The man dressed every single day. And that showed what kind of person he was. I mean, he was clean. It looked like the Sunday best of somebody else. And so we always had dialogue that was something I could learn from. And he and I would joke, because when he was younger, I believe he did not have any problems with finding the company of young ladies. You could see that by the way he dressed and the way he carried himself, and always had some good cologne on. His shoes were shining. He did dress in the style of a different era, but nonetheless, you saw how nice he dressed. So he got off the bus and he told me he's going to be seeing me tomorrow because he's got to go somewhere where my bus route goes from that point further down. I said, okay, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll talk then. And he told me some kind of inside joke that we used to laugh about. So I cracked up and laughed. He laughed, and then I closed the door and I kept going down. I went down to the end the same way, came back up, saw a couple of ambulances there, the cop cars, and the same thing on the other side of the road because I was coming inbound now. And when I got close, I could not see what had happened, if somebody got shot, if somebody got hit, if somebody had a heart attack, I don't know. But there was a divider, a concrete divider in the road, not one that was tall, but it was just like a wide curb, maybe about 3 feet wide. And wouldn't you believe, I saw my friend's hat. And after he stepped off of the bus, he stood there for a while to cross the street, and he got hit, and it took his life. Now, why am I telling you these stories? And also, yes, the tears flowed because I just talked to the guy, just like I just talked to the woman on the moped. See, when you wake up in the morning, you really don't know what's going to happen that day. When you wake up the morning of the day you're going to transition, most likely, unless you have a terminal illness and you expect not to make it and you're in hospice, whatever, but you don't know. This is why you have to utilize time to the fullest and be in the moment. Be in that moment. You have something you want to do, You do it now. It doesn't have to be the grand plan. Just start in baby steps. Be aware of your life. Yes, we plan for the future, but don't get so caught up in the future that you don't enjoy the present. Don't get so caught up in the past and what happened 40 years ago that you can't change, and you're replaying it over and over in your head, but you can't change it, but you can change the present. If all you do is think of the past, you have no present. And your present life is going to feel more and more empty because you don't take any responsibility for creating memories now that you can talk about in the future. There are a lot of people who are already ready for the grave. They get to a certain age and all they do is talk about 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago. Yes, we will talk about that, and it's fun to be nostalgic, but you can't live there anymore. You can't. It's gone. Never to return. Live in the present if you want to be successful. Yes, certain days you'll have more progress than the day before. You say, man, I'm moving so fast on this plan. And the next day may not move as fast. It doesn't mean you're a failure, as long as you're moving forward. But too many of us are spinning our wheels in our mind, and we're this great person in our mind, or we amplify the past to make it seem like more than what it was, so we can impress people in the present and fool ourselves to thinking we were greater than what we were. Yeah. I know people who ran track and they were saying how they beat this person and beat that person and they were the fastest, and they never accomplished anything in that particular area of expertise. But because somebody told them, oh, you're great, you're going to be great one day, they settled for that and never tried again. When I achieve something, I don't look back. When I write an article or do a video, I don't look back. I put it down in that moment because I'm in that moment, like I'm in this moment right now, expressing what I'm expressing to you. And I do that every day. Yesterday, I chose not to. I wrote an article. Then every 2 or 3 weeks, I'll do that. But ever since I got on social media or online in February of 2001, I've been going every day, and nobody can take that from me. So you have to be in the present. You have to have your mind focused. And it doesn't mean you have to be highly motivated. It doesn't mean if you want to go to the gym, you have to hear the theme from Rocky. You don't have to hear that. You don't have to jump up 4 o'clock in the morning and run and have all of this enthusiasm for 3 days. And when you feel like your muscles are aching, you quit. Just implement your plan slowly but surely and work it every day. There will come times when you make more progress, but just work it a little every day, brick by brick, like when a home is built, or cinder block by cinder block, whichever way. And it's those whole hum every day that may not be exciting type days. There's oh hum, okay, another day, but you're doing a damn thing. And it's just like going through a tunnel and you see the light at the end of the tunnel. It takes time, oftentimes, but I'm not saying to put your head down. But I have a saying with my dear sister, and she works and does incredible work in her chosen field, right? And if she's busy, she says, listen, I'm keeping my head down today, so I know not to bother her with too many messages. I'll tell her, keep your head down. And today I'm keeping my head down. You can message me, but this is the zone we're in. So it feels good to know that there's a parallel individual and energy out there who has the same work ethic. And these are the people that you're going to have to get yourself around. They don't have to be into the same category that you're in. I remember many years ago when I lived in Orlando, I had several friends come over. They were all creatives, but the energy is what we derive the motivation from. One person was a model. She was also a tattoo artist and an artist. My other friend, he was into the tech world. So he was into coding and doing different things online, but he can create wonderful things. At the same time, I was doing a podcast, and it was at the former Blog Talk Radio platform that I started on before I got onto YouTube. I used to take the Blog Talk Radio programs and upload them to YouTube before YouTube even started having live streaming. That's how much of a dinosaur in this thing that I am. And we were all together. We ordered out for some pizza and we enjoyed ourselves together. And we derived motivation from each bit of creation that was going on around us. So it doesn't have to be where you're into the people who are just into what you do. And that's good also. But don't limit yourself. If a person is motivated towards something, motivation is universal. It's not just relegated to one category, and you have to see beyond that. Even if you don't know much about that area of expertise, just ask the person and they'll tell you. They'll be glad to tell you. When you're into something deep, you're glad to share information and tell somebody who might be interested in it. The main thing is to keep the motivation going, but when nobody is around, you have to approach it like work every day. It may not always be special every day. Every new restaurant that you try new food in, their cuisine may not be something exquisite. It may be okay, but you might not come back to that restaurant. That's okay. That's a learning experience. But the only way you learn is when you try and make the effort. Because life, I wouldn't say it's short, but it would be if we take it for granted and just think, oh, I have tomorrow. I can do this tomorrow. I don't need to do anything today. I need to rest. Well, if you physically rest, your mind can go and research. You always need to be moving toward a goal. I remember when bodybuilder Frank Zane had a freak accident that kept him out of one of the Mr. Olympia competitions in the early 80s. And that was when I first met him afterward. It was in Willingboro, New Jersey in 1981. I believe that was the 81 Olympia that he didn't go to. But anyway, he said that when he could not train, he read more about the human body and how it works. So he equipped himself with more knowledge so that when he started to train again, he had a better understanding on how to be more effective. He took his forced downtime to not be depressed and just say, oh, I'm giving up because I can't do it this one way. There are many roads to the end goal. And sometimes we think it's just one way to get to a certain place. No. The life I wanted to live, I couldn't live in America, but I can live it here in Ghana for me. And while many people are going around saying how bad things are, I don't see it that way. Life is what you make it. The energy you carry and how you see things. You can look and see the glass half empty or the glass half full. And this is why many people do not make it to their goals the way they say they want to make it. Because deep in the back of their mind, they sabotage themselves. And the fear that keeps them from moving forward. It's very important to understand how this works. You can talk out to the world what you want to do, but in the midnight hour when fear talks to you, it will crush your spirit. So you can't pay that no mind. See, and people will whisper a well-wrapped fear to you that will grow on you later on, and they sit back and watch your spirit get crushed. And I know who those people are around me, and I know what they try, but that in itself motivates me because I must be something, a person of note for you to try so hard. You have to think about it that way. People can see the greatness in you even when you can't see it, and when they're trying hard to smash you and to keep you from going forward and moving higher, it's because they can see it in you, and that's an invert compliment. And I'm going to end it on this. I'm just going to say the name Satan, the devil, right? Beelzebub. Satan, or the negative energies, they don't waste their time on losers. They spend their time trying to dismantle winners and people who are to win. The negative energies are an invert cheering squad for you. You see, when Satan sees the winos and the drunks out on the street corner standing near the liquor store begging for money to get more liquor, he's not going to try them. He has them already. He has them defeated and limited already. That's why they say ignorance is bliss. They're drunk with urine stains in their pants, breath stinking, laughing in bliss, which is not true bliss. But here you are, motivated, having goals, and oftentimes struggling from within because of the mind games that are put on you by the negative energies. Because they want you defeated. They can't stand to see you win, but they know you are a winner, so they have to try harder on you. And you wonder why other people don't seem to have it the way you have it. It's because you're destined for greatness. And every step of the way, you have to understand that. And every step of the way, you have to understand that as a cheer for your doom, they're actually letting you know you're worth the energy. Because greatness is destined for you in whatever area you are in. And it may be a long time before you reach your goals, but when you reach it, it's going to be very sweet. But you have to be aware of how fear and these negative thoughts can affect you. And that's why you have to follow rules and recite them. And that's why I'll have this in article form on LANCESCURVX.com, which I urge you to go there and sign up with your email address so you can get these videos and get these articles directly into your mailbox without any interference from a satanic social media platform that doesn't want you to hear anything good. Because this is some good stuff here. Not because it's me, but because it's truth. Anyway, I just want to say thank you for listening. We have more coming. On to the next one. I truly appreciate your presence here. Feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is always below, always on these pages, where you can call, you can email me, you can text me, and we can vibe. If there's a subject that you want me to talk about, I will talk about it, bar none. Human nature, yes. Derogatory stuff, I try to stay away from. We have enough of that out in the world. Anyway, much love to you all. LANCESCURV out. Peace.